We are here for Daddy-Daughter Garden Tour, Day 2, Row 2. We only made it through the first row last time, so we're going to give it a second go and see how far we make it. Little lady is getting sleepy, so we'll see. All right, this is not quite in the market garden. This is more in my personal garden, but the apples are here. They're not ready yet, but we're about probably like a month or so out still. They still need to get a little bit more size, and they've really just kind of started to turn color. Look how weighed down it is from the weight of the apples, but I just let Mother Nature do her thing. I figure if it set that much fruit, it should be able to handle that much fruit. So that's my thinking. All right, over here, we're gonna skip row 1 today, right? You know, there's lots of cucumbers going on there. The sunflowers are getting very, very tall, like shockingly tall at this point. Look at that one. That has to be like at least 9 feet. Maybe 10 or 11. I'm going to get the measuring tape. We are going to check out this sunflower in row 1. This is exciting because I have no idea which sunflowers I planted where, and I planted a lot of them. So the colors and the style of sunflowers that we're going to get are going to be surprised. All right, row 2. You have marigolds pretty much on all the ends, both ends of all the rows, I should say, and some kind of in the middle of some of the rows as well. There's a marigold over there. Anyhow, this one has not bloomed yet, and looking forward to when it does because it just does great things for pest control. These are the 42-day cherry tomatoes. They are quite large for cherry tomatoes. A few in particular, like that one. That does not look like a cherry tomato. That's huge. So we're excited because they are finally starting to blush. Actually, those ones are going to be picked. I like to pick them when they are about 50% ripe and turned in color, and then put them in a box. You can put the tomatoes in a box or a paper bag with like an apple or a banana, or just by themselves, and they will continue to ripen either on the vine, or you can pick them right up to the fruit. That does 2 things for you. It allows you to get the tomatoes out of the garden before the birds get them, because once they are red, the birds are going to be after them. So picking them early prevent some of that competition. It also allows you to speed up the ripening process of the tomatoes. So the ones that I picked today, they'll be nice and ripe within a few days, certainly by the end of the week. So we're excited about the 42 days. You see that? I actually ate one yesterday, one that was not fully ripe, and it was already quite tasty. So that's a good sign. We have a zinnia here. Those are just, I think, seeds that I just threw down randomly. These are the beefsteak tomatoes. There are some nice ones in there, quite a lot of them, of all sizes and stages in development. Either today, after it cools down, or tomorrow, I need to get out here and prune suckers. Suckers on these tomatoes grow incredibly fast, like faster than you would think. So like every week, I really should be out here pruning suckers. But definitely every 2 weeks. I can't go longer than 2 weeks or it just gets out of control. These are the sweet. Okay, daughter opted out. Put her down for a little nappy nap. We're gonna finish this row. These are the sweet 100s. They grow in these very, very long sets. So they're very prolific. You just get so very many. So it's once they start ripening, there's going to be a tremendous amount of these. Corn here, it looks actually just about ready. Give it a little more time. Make sure everything gets time to sweeten up, but that's exciting. Some red corn coming soon. There's another one. The tassels develop before the silks in the ear. So when you see tassels, you can expect to see the silks in the ear of corn starting to develop about 2 weeks later. So I'm keeping an eye down here, trying to see where it's going to be coming in. Not sure just yet. Not seeing where it's going to be just yet. But we know it's coming. Here's another one. Looks a little bit fat right there. I think that is where, you see that? Looks a little bit like it's widening right there. I believe that's where the ear of corn is going to come in. Actually right here too. You can see a little bit dark. Let me fix my settings. There we go. Is that better? Okay, so yeah, a little bit wide right here. That is where the corn is going to start to develop. So I'll expect to see little tassels or maybe a little leaf starting to peek out there. Not tassels, little silks or a little leaf starting to peek out there. And this will continue to widen and develop into a full ear of corn like we're seeing over here. Green beans are going crazy. Green beans, green beans, green beans. It's a little bit of a scavenger hunt. There's actually two different types in here. The non-striped green beans are Kentucky pole beans. And the striped, they have like this purple, black striping on it. The bigger they are, the more striping you'll see. See if I can find a bigger one. But these are rattlesnake green beans. Here's one with a little bit more striping. You can see on the bottom there. Cool. Rattlesnake green beans. Very prolific. They make a lot of green beans very quickly. It does take them a little bit of time to get going. But once they're going, they're going. There's more. And these are pretty cool actually. Green beans and snap peas for that matter. They actually self-pollinate. So they have the male and female parts in these little flowers. And when the flower falls off, let me see if I can find one. It's at the right stage. Right here, you can kind of see the whole little life cycle here actually. Let's see, we'll start with this one. That one is kind of budding, not fully opened yet. There's an ant doing some pollination for us, even though these are self-pollinating. That one is a bud that is not quite fully opened yet. This one, oh, that one is even younger than that one. Cool. This one is the one that's fully open. It will be doing its pollinating thing. Ants and bees and other things can actually help out with pollination, but it's not necessary for green beans. This one had the flower and it's shriveled up and done the pollination, and it will fall off on its own, or you can pull it off like that, and then there is the green bean. Every flower that you see is a green bean. The flowers can be yellow, the flowers can be purple, pink, red. They can be lots of different colors, white. They are sweet. They honestly don't really need to be cooked. They are tender. Make a great snack. Okay. I got distracted. How did I get back over in the green beans? We're supposed to be in row 2. Okay. These are my mid-sized tomatoes. They look amazing. They're coming in perfectly, beautifully round, wonderful shapes, no blossom end rot, thanks to the calcium and the phosphorus that I added to the soil. They just look great. I am going to do a magnesium foliar spray on the tomatoes as well as the cucumbers in the next couple of days, and that also helps with things like blossom end rot. Magnesium foliar spray. Foliar meaning you're not putting it in, it's not going to be absorbed via the roots, it's going to be actually absorbed through the foliage, through the leaves. So you spray it all over the plant. You don't actually need to worry too much about the base of the plant, and you can expect it to be absorbed through the leaves, which is actually a quicker process than being absorbed through the roots. Magnesium sulfate, that's just Epsom salt that you might get at a pharmacy and add to a bath or use for other things. You would mix it with water in a particular ratio and you mix it up. I put it in my pump sprayer and I spray some of the leafier plants like green beans, cucumbers, tomatoes, helping them to absorb nutrients from the soil a little bit more efficiently and all those great things, and just giving the tomatoes a boost. Kind of almost like you would get from nitrogen, but it just benefits some different systems, biologically speaking, for the plants. I have green beans planted in 3 different rows, row 1, 3, and 5. So here's green beans also. These are Kentucky pole beans. They get huge. So by the end of the week, these suckers are going to be gigantic. Another thing, this you see here, the eaten up leaves, that's Japanese beetles. And there's one right there. Can you see it? The little suckers. So what I do is I come out once or twice a day and I just knock all the beetles into a bucket of soapy water. And they drown. Also, anywhere the marigolds are blooming, the Japanese beetles, that's a great trap crop for them. So like right here, I'll start to see probably tomorrow the beetles migrating away from the green beans over to the marigolds, which is helpful. And I'll show you, because I'm sure one of my bigger marigolds in row 5, that one always has beetles on it, and I'm okay with it because now they're on my marigold. They're not on my food. Fortunately, even though we see some damage, it's really not that concerning because it's limited to just the few of the top leaves. I also go through and I either cut or pull these off, because the Japanese beetles, they give off a chemical as they're moving around and doing their thing, and you actually notice it in the water, the soapy water as well. As they die off, the water turns a really dark black color. It's pretty gross and doesn't smell very good. But yes, this chemical that they give off when they're moving about the plants and eating and whatnot, it actually attracts more Japanese beetles. So it's not helpful. There's one now. I'm not even going to bother them because then they fly away and I can't get them into the water. So try not to disturb them until I'm ready to actually get them in the soapy water. My peppers are coming right along. It's exciting. These ones are really just at the flowering stage. These are bell peppers. Some of them have flowers, but not all of them, and most of them do not have any fruit set just yet. But when we move on down to the Santa Fe peppers, we have fruit set. I actually got to snack on a couple yesterday. Let's see. Ew. Can you see it? Ta-da! That is a pepper right there, Santa Fe pepper. These are like small snap peppers. They come in a few different colors, like yellow and orange. There's a couple right there. So they definitely get bigger than that. And we see flowers where more will be coming in. So we have flowers and fruit set on all the Santa Fe peppers. So that's exciting. And then we also have flowers and fruit set on the shishito peppers, which also make great snack peppers. Right there, shishito peppers. And they're kind of about at the same stage as the Santa Fe peppers. Lots of flowers coming in. This is lemon verbena. Smells incredible. Incredible. Probably the best smelling thing, not probably, absolutely, definitely the best smelling thing in my garden. Whew, if you can ever get your hands on some lemon verbena, don't miss your chance. It's great. This is basil. It could use some pruning. There's a lot of it. These are cayenne peppers. Those ones are pretty far along. None have begun to blush yet, but we do have lots of peppers set, which is exciting. Companion planted throughout. I have red lettuce planted in between the peppers to get a little bit of extra shade, just to kind of help them not bolt. But as you can see, there's not a lot of pepper foliage close to the ground, so they're just being shaded a little bit. I can keep the canopies pruned as needed so that the lettuce does get light, but I don't want the lettuce in full sun anyhow to prevent bolting. So you got lettuce planted throughout. It's not quite ready for harvest just yet. I'm gonna let it go for a little bit longer. And then we also have young successions of lettuce over here, and red Russian kale in an incredible abundance. This one must have gotten the best spot somehow. You were the lucky winner. Cool. So red lettuce interplanted with the peppers, and that's working out well. I like that. Which brings us to zucchini, which definitely need to be pruned. I keep them pruned out of the walkways. They grow very fast. And I haven't gotten to it just yet. I'll be coming through and cutting off some of these leaves, and I keep them pretty much pruned and growing straight up almost. And they're pokey. So sometimes when I'm not in the mood to be poked, I wear gloves. Here's a big one. Oh, there's another one. Cool. All right, they're in there for sure. They just really hide quite well, which is why I kind of prefer harvesting the summer squash. Summer squash and zucchini grow basically exactly the same. They can even cross-pollinate one another. But as you can see, the summer squash are yellow and much easier. Much easier to see and find amongst all the green. This is my biggest marigold, and as you can see, there's those Japanese beetles, and I don't mind quite so much because one is kind of like, in a way, deadheading the marigold, so it's going to keep producing more flowers. And also, I don't really care if they're on the marigold. That means they're not on my other crops. So as all the other marigold plants, which there are a lot of them, there's many marigolds planted through here, and they're all very large. As the others bloom more, the Japanese beetles will begin to leave some of the other crops alone. And these grow so fast. These will be 3 or 4 times this size by harvest day, which is typically Saturday. I do prune the zucchini because there's also green beans and corn planted in here, and they work well together, of course, and I probably don't have to prune them, but I do like to just make sure the zucchini leaves are not completely shading off some of my shorter corn, just to make sure that corn is getting adequate light. So I come through and I kind of I keep the rows clear of most leaves in general, and then I kind of thin out the middle as well, just to make sure light can get all the way through. Here's a marigold that'll be blooming soon. Then we have my watermelon plants. I haven't quite noticed any fruit set. In the watermelon, lots of flowers, but mostly female flowers, or excuse me, mostly male flowers. The ones with a little stem like that will not develop into a fruit. Fruit develops from a female flower, which looks like a small watermelon. So let's see. I'm only still seeing the male flowers. That's a male. That's a male. So that's why there's no fruit. There's no female flowers yet to be pollinated and to begin growing into fruit. So that's just a developmental thing. That's just the pacing of the plant and it following its course of action. And this one is in the same boat. These are orange and jubilee watermelons. And that just means they take a little bit more time compared to my cantaloupe and honeydew, which have a lot of fruit set. Here is a very young one. It was probably smaller. It was definitely smaller than this a few days ago, but it's been pollinated. The flower has fallen off of the end, and it will continue to grow and develop into something like this, into something like this. And there's some bigger ones out there too. Something like this. That's one of the larger ones. They're growing very fast. Something like this. Something like this. Cool. So those are cantaloupes. They will change color as they ripen. Here's my okra plants that are interplanted. They're pretty much self-sufficient. When they were a little bit shorter, I was making sure they were not shaded by the watermelon leaves, but now they're tall enough I don't have to worry too much about that. Honeydew, not seeing any fruit set just yet, or many female flowers. Male flower, male flower. Cool, so hopefully we'll begin to see female flowers soon. So we can start to see some fruit set on the watermelon and honeydew. But I'm excited about the cantaloupe. I'm just glad there's something growing so fast. That means I'm gonna have melons very soon. Those are Adesto 47, I believe. Adesto 47 cantaloupes, melons. Early setters and early producers and pretty prolific. There's 3 or 4 on each plant, which is really exactly what you want. I won't let it go probably past 4 melons per plant, just so each melon can get all the nutrition it needs to produce large sweet fruit. This is okra, red okra, which is kind of unique. This is a flower which will be opening up very soon. Okra makes really beautiful flowers. They are in the hibiscus family. So the flowers look a lot like the flowers of the hibiscus plant or tree. There's also green okra out here. And okra is very prolific also. It loves the heat. So this warming of the planet we're experiencing, okra is loving it. We did not see kale, we did not see arugula, we did not see cucumbers, we did not see the herb garden, we did not see the flower garden, we did not see a few things. Oh, we did not see the amaranth. I'll show that in a video soon. Amaranth, very cool plant. Great for, I won't even give it away. We'll talk about amaranth tomorrow. Okay. Bye.